quiet expanse of Aurora, Colorado, a serene suburbia was rocked by an event that sent ripples of disbelief through the heart of this close-knit community. The streets, once bustling with the laughter of children and the chatter of neighbors, now loudly with whispers of confusion and apprehension. Isabella Guzman's early life. Isabella Guzman grew up here, a young girl whose smile in these family album photos belies the turmoil of her early years and the strained threads within her family fabric. Behind those glossy images lie untold stories of whining arguments, nights filled with silence, tears, and a sense of unease that seemed to permeate the very walls of their home. The relationship between Isabella and her mother. Beneath the surface of a seemingly normal mother-daughter relationship, fissures broadened. A silent war raged, culminating in threats that cast a dark shadow over their bond. What appeared as tender moments, shared between mother and daughter in public settings, concealed a tempest of unresolved conflicts and simmering tensions lurking just beneath the facade.
Well, she had a blank expression on her face. I'm not sure what happened with the knife she was carrying. It looked like she was still holding on to it. And I looked down and I saw my wife on the floor, blood everywhere, all over the bathroom. I was talking to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher told me, make sure you get her breathing again, get her airways open. I don't know CPR. But at that time, I looked at my wife's eyes, and I knew that she must not have made it. I just couldn't believe that it had happened like that. Isabella was in a rage like I've never seen before.
What do you mean?
Well, I could just hear her just pummeling my wife. I thought she was just hitting her with her fists.
Okay, so that thumping sound you were
Thumping sound, I thought, was you mean maybe hitting against the wall, and Isabella just pounding her with her fists.
Okay.
So that's what I originally thought it was, and that's when I...
Date of murder. Then came the night that shattered the silence. An urgent call pierced the calm, and the grim reality of a family tragedy unfolded under the flashing lights of first responders. On that fateful night, the tranquility of Aurora was ruptured by the stark brutality of a heinous crime, leaving the community reeling in shock and disbelief.
When we first got here just after 10 o'clock last night, we talked with police. They said they were waiting on a search warrant before they could go inside. When I got here at 4 o'clock this morning, I did see a few officers coming in and out, so it looks like the investigation has started. I'm going to step out real quickly for you, show you what's happening here. This is the house in question. This White House here, you can see the yellow tape blocking off, and they've also got the road blocked off as well, and you can see several squad cars still in the road here. Let's give you another look at this suspect, Isabella Guzman, 18 years old. This is the woman police are looking for. They were searching for her everywhere last night. They even used the help of the Denver police chopper last night. They did a reverse 911 to homes within a 1.5 mile radius, searching for this woman. Here's what we know so far. Just after 10 o'clock, police got a call on what was supposed to be just a family disturbance. That's what police thought, and they were caught off guard when they arrived. They said a man greeted them at the door and told them that there was a woman upstairs with apparent stab wounds. Police pronounced the woman dead on scene, and then the search was on for Isabella Guzman. Again, she is still on the loose. Police looking for her as we speak. She is named a suspect right now in this case. And of course, the investigation's still ongoing, still very active here. And of course, we're going to cover this from start to finish throughout the morning, and I'll be here for it.
Trial process and verdict. The courtroom became a stage for a story that gripped the nation. Isabella Guzman, once a daughter and a student, now stood accused, her fate hanging in the balance until a verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity was rendered. The trial unfolded as a harrowing examination of mental health, family dynamics, and the delicate intersection of justice and compassion, leaving an indelible mark on the fabric of the community and igniting conversations far beyond its border.
Violence against this woman, Isabella Guzman. She's accused of stabbing her mother 79 times. 7 News reporter Lance Hernandez live now. Lance, the filing of charges was actually delayed today because Guzman wouldn't leave her cell.
Mike, she was due in court this morning, but court officials told us she didn't want to leave her jail cell at the Arapahoe County Detention Center. Isabella Guzman now facing first-degree murder charges. She was charged with first-degree murder after stabbing her mom about 79 times in the face and neck at this house in Aurora. The 18-year-old smirked at the camera as she stood up and walked to the defense table this afternoon, her arms and legs shackled. After the judge read the complaint against her, she looked over, stared at the camera, and motioned to the area under each of her eyes with her index.
I'm not this girl. I don't know what happened with her and her life and who she is or what school she went to. That's not my problem. My problem right now is finding my boyfriend.
It's a funny game you're playing, but nobody's laughing. Do you think some juror sitting on a jury is going to believe that you're not the person we suspect killed their mother when you're caught right down the street with knife injuries to your hand?
Scissors.
It's not scissor injuries.
I told you they were scissors.
It's not scissor injuries.
Yes, it was. You're not going to bully me into admitting what you want me to, like, pretend
No,
to be.
I suspect we're probably not. I mean, that's a decision you have to make in your own head. I mean, that's the bottom line. You're 18 years of age. You understand why you're here. You know what you've done. We've given you an opportunity to talk about what you've done. We've given you an opportunity to give us a reason why you did what you did. And you've continued on this crazy-ass story that this you have nothing to do with this, and that story is not believable. We don't believe
It doesn't have to be believable. It will be.
That's my baby.
Sir, do you recognize this?
Who are you?
Come on back out here for a second. Do you recognize her?
Yeah, she's my daughter.
What's her name?
Isabella.
Isabella. What's her last name?
Guzman.
Isabella Guzman. Okay. This photograph here, is that photograph? Is that your daughter there?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is your daughter here.
Yeah.
Brutally on a bathroom
I did
floor.
not murder anyone.
How does
Please
that
stop
feel?
accusing me of this.
Just tell me how that feels.
Please fingerprint me. Please fingerprint me. Please fingerprint me. I will show you that I am not this freaky, horrible person. So she's 110 pounds? That's really skinny. I'm 148 pounds.
Isabella, please.
Don't call me Isabella. That's really
That's your
freaky.
name.
My name is not Isabella. My name is Samantha. There are people in this world who look alike, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are not, like, all-knowing. You don't know everything. You're just accusing me of all this stuff that I didn't do.
We know what you we know what you did, and we know who you are. We know how it happened,
Apparently not,
when it
because
happened.
you guys are completely wrong. You got the wrong girl.
No, we don't. We don't have the wrong girl, and you know that.
No, I don't.
How did it feel
How did what feel?
when you did what you did? How did it feel?
I
Make you
didn't
feel
kill
good?
anybody.
Did
That's
it make-
disgusting.
Did it feel good?
That's disgusting. You guys really think I'm a murderer?
Yeah, we're not joking.
Did it make you feel powerful?
Yeah.
No problems. No any conversation. Any?
Not much of a conversation at all. We
Did
didn't
she
really
give you
say
any
much.
indications that she might be plotting to do something like this?
Oh no. I knew she was mad at her mom, and I knew she was very, very upset at her mom, but I had no idea she would ever do anything like this. The last couple of days.
Okay. So has it seemed like things have gotten worse the last few days between Isabella and her mom?
With what you told me, yes. With what she told me, yes.
And that's
It has gotten
what she
worse.
told you was the statement she had made?
The cursing at her and spitting in her face.
Okay.
And the email she wrote to that ended up in my wife's hands said something about you will pay or you've been cursed.
Okay. And your wife found that email today?
Today at about, I remember she showed it to me. It came in, I think, about 2:42, something like that,
Okay.
before the officers showed up.
And it was from Isabella?
From Isabella. But she marked it to a Cecilia. It was kind of funny. She sent it to my wife, but she made it out to a Cecilia.
Consequences and community reactions. As the gavel fell, so did the curtain on a case that had captivated and divided public opinion. Headlines screamed, keyboards clacked, and the world grappled with the complexities of justice and mental illness. In the wake of the verdict, Aurora stood at a crossroads, grappling with questions of empathy, rehabilitation, and the fragile balance between accountability and compassio.
Noon, a state doctor told the court that Guzman, suffers from paranoid schizophrenia, that she hallucinates, stares into space, and has conversations with people who aren't there. The district attorney says he asked the court to find her not guilty by reason of insanity to avoid a trial.
As these state doctors determine that she's no longer a risk, a threat to herself or to the community, it could be a year, 2 years, it could be the remainder of her life.
Now, George Brockler told me that it won't be an easy process. He says it wasn't an easy decision. He says down the road, once she's treated at the hospital in Pueblo, she'll have to come back to court so that the judge can see the process that she's making. And again, he said it's for an indeterminate period of time. It could be for the rest of her life. It could be a year or two before she's back out in public.
And when she first spoke out, Isabel shared that she was the victim of abuse growing up. She said that her parents, who raised her as a Jehovah's Witness, abused her, and that the abuse only worsened when she turned 14 and decided to walk away from the religion. She went on to say how hard her mother's murder had been on her, and that she was also injured that day and has scars on her hands to prove it. And basically, what Isabella wanted people to know by giving this interview is that she wasn't herself when she did that, and that she's since been restored to, quote, full health.
And I have since been restored to full health. I was abused at home by my family for many years. My parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I left the religion when I was 14. And the abuse at home worsened after I quit. The fight with my mom was terrible, and I was injured in the process. I have the scars on my hands. I don't know if you can see or not. I'm not mentally ill anymore. I'm not a danger to myself or others. If I could change it, or if I could take it back, I would.
Isabella Guzman's current life. Narration. Isabella Guzman now walks a path of recovery and redemption, her days marked by the pursuit of healing and the hope of one day reclaiming her place in the tapestry of society. Through therapy sessions, community support, and a steadfast commitment to her own well-being, Isabella navigates the winding road toward a brighter future, determined to carve out a new narrative from the ashes of her past.